Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, May 20th, 2021. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's Stanley Cup playoff games and look ahead to tonight's games. The Western Conference NBA play-in games, look ahead to tonight's Eastern Conference final play-in game. Major League Baseball, Wnba. We will talk about the PGA Championship, go over the latest news and notes, recap last night's episode of The Masked Singer, and my best bet of the day. All right, we will start with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Some great games last night. We will look back on them and look ahead to a busy night tonight. Bruins over the Capitals 3-2 in double overtime on a game winner by Craig Smith. Smith was the number one star of the game with the game-winning goal and an assist. Number 2 started the goal, Brad Marchand. Number 3 started the game with the goal, Taylor Hall. No score in the first period. Second period, 8:21 in. Alex Ovechkin on the power play, assisted by Anthony Mantha, 1-0 Caps. A little less than a minute later, Taylor Hall is second of the postseason, assisted by Craig Smith and Kevin Miller, 1-1. Then Nick Dowd gives the Capitals a 2-1 lead, assisted by Garrett Hathaway. Third period, Brad Marchand is second of the postseason on the power play, assisted by Patrice Bergeron and Charlie McAvoy, 2-2. No scoring in the first overtime, and then 2:48 into the second overtime. Craig Smith, the game winner, off of a bad turnover, as Smith exposes Ilya Samsonov, and Boston is up 2-1 in that series now. Hurricanes over the Predators 3-0. Carolina's up 2-0 in the series. The number 3 started game played a great game. Brady Shea. Number 2 started game with 2 goals. Sebastian Aho. Number 1 started the game with 32 saves on 32 shots. Alex Nedeljkovic. First period, Sebastian Aho, 8:03 into the game on the power play, assisted by Dougie Hamilton and Andrei Svechnikov, 1-0 Carolina. No goals in the second period. Third period, Sebastian Aho is second of the game, assisted by Brett Pesky, 2-0 Carolina. And then Warren Fogle into the empty net, assisted by Jesper Fast, 3-0 Carolina, your final. Jets over the Oilers 4-1 as Winnipeg takes a 1-0 series lead. The number 3 started the game with the goal, Jesse Puljujarvi. Number 2 started the game with the goal, Dominic Toninato. And the number 1 started the game with 32 saves on 33 shots, Connor Hellebuck. Puljujarvi got the scoring going for Edmonton into the second period, 8:24 in, assisted by Darnell Nurse and Tyson Barrie. Then, with the game-tying goal for the Winnipeg Jets to tie the game at 1 apiece was defenseman Tucker Poolman, assisted by Blake Wheeler and Nate Thompson. Third period, 9:14 in. Toninato gives the Jets a 2-1 lead, assisted by Nate Thompson and defenseman Logan Stanley. 3-1 Winnipeg, 18-13. I think that was an empty netter, assisted by Mark Sheffley and Neil Pionk, 3-1 Jets. And then Blake Wheeler into the empty net, assisted by Kyle Connor, Mark Sheffley, 4-1 Jets. Your final as they take a 1-0 series lead. Avalanche over the Blues 6-3. This was a decisive final score. This game was a lot closer than the 6-3 indicates. Colorado goes up 2-0. The number 3 started the game with a goal, Mike Hoffman. Number 2 started the game with 2 goals and an assist, Jonas Donskoy. And the number 1 started the game with a hat trick and an assist, Nathan MacKinnon, who I say is the early favorite right now for the Conn Smythe Trophy. First period, 35 seconds into the game, Donskoy gives the Avs a 1-0 lead, assisted by Ryan Graves and Nazem Kadri. 18:05 into the first on the power play, McKinnon is third of the postseason, assisted by Kel McCarr and Donskoy. Second period, Donskoy again on the power play, assisted by McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen, 3-0 Avs. Here come the Blues. They get on the board on a goal by Sammy Blais to make it a 3-1 game. Then Braden Shen on the power play 10 minutes into the third period, assisted by Tyler Bozak and Torrey Krug to make it a 3-2 game. Nathan MacKinnon is fourth of the postseason, assisted by Devin Taves and Gabriel Landeskog, 15-25. Into the third, 4-2 Colorado. Blues don't go away yet. 15 seconds later, Mike Hoffman assisted by Robert Thomas and Nico McCullough to make it a 4-3 game. Then Brandon Stott into the empty net, assisted by Devin Taves and Tyson Yost to make it a 5-3 game. And then Nathan McKinnon with the hat trick, his 5th of the postseason, into the empty net, assisted by Landeskog and Rantanen to make it a 6-3 game as Colorado goes up 2-0 in the series. And the Flames over the Canucks 6-2. Calgary finishes the regular season at 26-27-3. Vancouver finishes at 23-29-4. Now it's going to be interesting to see what these two teams do in terms of off-season changes and whatnot. A 4-game window for tonight at 6:30 on USA TV. You have the Panthers and the Lightning. The Lightning going for the commanding 3-0 series lead here. The Bolts are minus 146, Panthers plus 124, over under 5.5, overs minus 128, unders plus 104. Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 220, Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 180. I'm going to say this is the game where the Panthers pick them off. So I'm going to go Panthers plus 124 against the Lightning in Tampa. 7 o'clock, NBCSN, you have the Penguins and the Islanders. Islanders are minus 122 favorites. The Pens are plus 104, over under 5.5. Overs plus 136, unders minus 168. Penguins plus 1.5 is minus 280. Islanders minus 1.5 is plus 225. I'm going with the Penguins as a road dog, plus 104 to take a 2-1 series lead. 7:30 on the CBC Network and NHL Network, Canadiens Maple Leafs Game 1. Toronto's minus 205. Montreal's plus 172, over under 5.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Canadiens plus 1.5 is minus 160. Toronto minus 1.5 is plus 132. I'm taking Maple Leafs puck line minus 1.5 at plus 132. At 9:30 on NBCSN, you have the Golden Knights and the Wild Game 3. The Golden Knights are minus 118. The Wild are even money, over under 5.5. Overs plus 112, unders minus 138. Vegas plus 1.5 or minus 1.5 is plus 202. The Wild minus or plus 1.5 is minus 250. Tough one. The Wild at even money at home is enticing. But I just like this Vegas team a lot. I feel like this is the game where the offenses break out a little bit. So I'm going to take a shot here. Over 5.5 at plus 112 will be my pick for this game. Now I'm going to go over the NBA play-in tournament games, and we will look ahead to the big one tonight that's going to decide the last playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Grizzlies over the Spurs 196, so the Grizzlies survive, the Spurs go home. Dylan Brooks led the Memphis Grizzlies in scoring with 24 points, and for the Spurs, Rudy Gay had 20. And the Grizzlies outscored the Spurs 38-19 in the first. The Spurs rebounded from that and was in the game the whole rest of the way. So good for Greg Popovich for keeping that team focused and ready to go. And in what was an all-time classic of a playing game, the Lakers over the Warriors 103-100. Anthony Davis led the Lakers in scoring with 25 points and 12 boards. LeBron James went 22, 11, and 10 with the game-winning three-pointer with less than a minute to go as the shot clock expires after being hit hard by Draymond Green, which I didn't call a flagrant foul. And Stephen Curry was arguably the best player on the court, 37 points for Steph to keep the Golden State Warriors in that game. So the Lakers will play the Suns, and the Warriors will play the Grizzlies for the 8th seed. And the winner of that game will play the Utah Jazz in the first round. All right, 8 o'clock, TNT tonight. You have the Pacers and the Wizards. My line is Wizards 3, total 233. No TJ Warren and no Karis LeVert for Washington or for Indiana in this game. And it's 3.5 and 237. I'm gonna go under. I have a 4.5 edge on the under. I know Indiana and Washington are machines offensively. That's a high total, so I'm going under 233 between Indiana and Washington. I do think that the Wizards will get that 8 seed and when they're playing the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round of the postseason. And then on Friday's show, we'll make a pick for the game for the last spot in the Western Conference. Alrighty, now we will go over the Major League Baseball scores from yesterday, and we will look ahead to what I don't think is another busy slate. White Sox over the Twins 2-1. The White Sox 26-16. Minnesota 14-27. Lucas Giolito to win. He's 3-4. Matt Shoemaker to loss 2-5. And Liam Hendricks gets his 9th save of the year. Nelson Cruz homered in this game for Minnesota. Giolito 8 innings, 2 hits and a run, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts, ERA 4.35. Matt Shoemaker 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 6.08. Padres over the Rockies 3-0. The Padres are 27-17. Colorado 15-29. Joe Musgrove to win. He's 4-4. Chichi Gonzalez lost 2-2. Mark Melancon gets his 15th save of the year. Fernando Tatis Jr. homered in his return. Jake Cronenworth, an inside the park home run as well in this game. Musgrove 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 11 strikeouts, ERA 2.47. Chichi Gonzalez 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 4.54. Giants over the Reds 4-0. The Giants are 27-16. Cincinnati 19-22. Kevin Gausman to win 4-0. Wade Miley to loss 4-4. Gausman 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 1.66. Miley 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits and a run, no walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 3.5. Marlins over the Phillies 3-1. The Marlins 19-23. Philly 22-21. Trevor Rogers to win. He's 6-2. Zach Eflin lost 2-3. Yimi Garcia gets his 8th save of the season. Brian Anderson and Andrew McCutchen homered for their respective teams. Rogers 7 2/3 innings, 5 hits and a run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 1.74. Zach Eflin 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 3.77. Rays over the Orioles 9-7. That was a high scoring game. Tampa 25-19. Baltimore 17-25. Ryan Thompson to win 3-2. Paul Friedel 0-1. And Peter Fairbanks gets his first save of the season. Trey Mancini homered twice. Freddie Galvis homered. Mike Brousseau, Randy Arozarena twice were the homers in this game. Ryan Yarbrough 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, no walks, or 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 4.24. John Means 6 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, or 6 strikeouts, ERA 1.7. So the bullpen blew up for Baltimore, although Means wasn't his best either. Braves over the Mets 5-4. The Braves are 20-23. Mets 20-17. Will Smith to win. He's 1-4, and getting dinged with the loss for the Mets was Jacob Barnes. Jonathan Villar homered in this game, and Ronald Acuna hit the walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. Charlie Martin 6 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, no walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 4.6. So he looked like the Charlie Martin from the Rays. David Peterson 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.97. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 7-3. Boston 26-18. Toronto 23-18. Garrett Richards to win 4-2. Ross Stripling lost 0-3. Alex Verdugo, JD Martinez, and Enrique Hernandez. Oh, Marcus Semien and Christian Vasquez all homered in this game as well. Richards 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 3.72. So he's pitching better for Boston. Ross Stripling 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 7.2. Nationals over the Cubs 4-3. The Nationals are 17-22. Chicago 21-21. Max Scherzer to win 4-2. Jake Arrieta lost 4-4. Brad Hand gets his 5th save of the season. Juan Soto and Javier Baez homered for their respective teams in this game. Scherzer 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 2.24. Arrieta 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 4.46. Cardinals over the Pirates 8-5. The Cardinals are 25-18. Pittsburgh 17-25. Jack Flaherty to win 8-0. Trevor Cale lost 1-5. Alex Reyes gets his 13th save of the season. Gregory Polanco is the only player to hit a home run in this game. Jack Flaherty 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 2.53. Cahill, an inning, 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 6.81. So he was pretty much the opener for Pittsburgh. Yankees over the Rangers 2-0, courtesy of a no-hitter by Corey Kluber. So back-to-back days with a no-hitter in Major League Baseball. Yankees are 24-19, Texas 19-26. Kluber with the win, he's 4-2. And getting dinged with the loss for Texas was Hyang Jung Yang. No homers in this game. Corey Kluber with the no-hitter. 1 walk and 9 strikeouts here at 2.86. He really has emerged as the number 2 guy behind Garrett Cole this season. And Yang, 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts here at 3.38. Indians over the Angels 3-2. The Indians 23-18. LA 18-24. Aaron Savali to win 6-1. Tony Watson lost 2-2. And James Karinchak gets his 5th save of the season. Jared Walsh and Jake Bauers homered for their respective teams. Savali, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, rate 3.3. Ohtani, 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, rate 2.37. Royals over the Brewers 6-4. The Royals 20-22. Milwaukee 21-22. Getting the win for the Royals was Scott Barlow. JP Fireson, the loss, he's 0-2. And getting the save for KC was Josh Stauman. Home runs in this game: Michael A. Taylor, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Jorge Soler. Brad Keller, 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, 6.52. That was probably the best game he's pitched all year. Corbin Burns, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 9 strikeouts, 1.79. Astros over the A's 8-1. The Astros are 25-18. Oakland 26-18. Zach Greinke to win, he's 4-1, and Frankie Montas the loss, he's 5-3. Jose Altuve, the lone home run in this game, was in the top of the first, too. Greinke, 8 innings, 4 hits, and a run, no walks, 8 strikeouts, 3.77. Montas, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 4.79. Dodgers over the Diamondbacks 4-2. Dodgers 25-18. Arizona 18-26. Joe Kelly to win. Joe multiplied the loss, and Kenley Jansen gets his 9th save of the season. Eduardo Escobar hit the lone home run in this game. Clayton Kershaw, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, 3.18. And getting the start for Arizona was Matt Peacock, 5 1/3 innings at 4 hits, an earned run, no walks, 4 strikeouts, 4.91. Tigers over the Mariners 6-2. The Tigers 17-26. Seattle 21-23. 3 Scubal, the Witties 1-6, and Logan Gilbert the loss 0-2. Kyle Seager hit the lone home run in this game for the Mariners. Those are the only 2 runs they scored in this game, amazingly enough. Scubal, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 5.45. Gilbert, 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 9.45. All right. Not many games today. 12:30, the Giants and the Reds. Johnny Cueto and Tyler Mahle. So Johnny Cueto back in Cincinnati. Fun subplot there to keep an eye on. The Reds are minus 144. The Giants are plus 124. Over under 9. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Giants plus 1/2 is minus 162. Reds minus 1/2 is plus 134. I'm going with the Giants as the road dog here. Cueto hasn't been terrible this season against his former team. He's going to be a little motivated, I think. So give me the Giants plus 124 as a road dog at the Rays. Or the Reds. The Rays are at the Orioles. Rich Hill and Dean Kremer. The Rays are minus 164. The Orioles are plus 138. Over under 9.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Rays minus 1/2 is even money. Orioles plus 1/2 is minus 120. Tough one. I'm going to go over 9.5 and minus 104. I don't like how Rich Hill has pitched this season. Drew Kramer hasn't been great either. So give me over 9.5 and minus 104. 2 o'clock, Yankees Rangers. Domingo Germán and Dane Dunning. The Yankees are minus 130. The Rangers are plus 110. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Yankees minus 1/2 is plus 130. Rangers plus 1/2 is minus 156. I'm going with the Rangers as a home dog here against the Yankees. This is a letdown spot after the no-hitter. So give me plus 110 with the Texas Rangers over the Yankees. 220 from Wrigley, the Nats at the Cubs. Joe Ross and Trevor Williams. The Cubs are minus 142. The Nats are plus 120. No run line or total yet. But if the total is anything beneath 8, I'm taking the over. 3:30, the Astros and the A's. Luis Garcia and Cole Irvin. A's are a even money dog at home. Astros minus 118, over on 8.5, minus 110 each way. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 146. A's plus 1.5 is minus 176. I'm going to go under 8.5 and minus 108. Both of these pitchers haven't been that bad this year, so under 8.5 and minus 108. 4 o'clock doubleheader game 1, makeup game from April 17th between the Twins and the Angels. Lewis Thorpe and Alex Cobb. No lines out for this game yet, but if this totals anything, gotta be, I would say, the highest number I'd take the over at would be really 9.5. The Marlins and the Phillies at 7 o'clock. Sandy Alcantara and Vince Velasquez. Phillies are minus 126. Marlins are plus 108. Over under 8. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 200. Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 164. I'm going with the Marlins as a road dog plus 106. I like Sandy Alcantara. He's been pretty good this year, even though he only has 1 win. So give me the Marlins plus 106 at Philly. Doubleheader game 2 between the Twins and the Angels. Makeup from April 18th. Jose Barrios and Griffin Canning. This one I'm thinking about the under. If it's anything like 9 or higher, I'll consider the under for that one. 7:20, the Pirates and the Braves. Will Crow and Drew Smyly. The Braves are minus 196. The Pirates are plus 164. Over under 9. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 122. Braves minus 1.5 is plus 102. I'm going to go with the over 9 at minus 105 in that one. 7:30, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Nick Pivetta and Steven Matz. Blue Jays are minus 142. The Red Sox are plus 120. Over under 9.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 162. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 134. I'm going with the Boston Red Sox as a dog here. Nick Pivetta is undefeated, so give me the Red Sox plus 120 on the road at Toronto. Or wherever the Blue Jays are playing, Dublin. And at 10 o'clock, the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. We have Merrill Kelly going for Arizona. We don't know what's going for the Dodgers yet. So it depends on the total. Maybe I'll consider the over. Maybe the Dodgers run line. If it's anything more than like plus 130 or something like that, would be a good price for a potential Dodgers run line. Now I'm going to go over the WNBA from last night, and we will look ahead to tonight's window of games. The Sky over the Dream, 85-77. Chicago, 2-0. Atlanta, 0-2. Kalia Cooper at 23 for Chicago. Courtney Williams, 24 and 8 boards for Atlanta. Sun over the Fever, 88-67. The Sun are 3-0. Indiana, 0-3. Natasha Hindman, 19 points and 6 assists. Daniel Robinson, 12 points and 3 assists for Indiana. Only one game tonight on NBA TV of the Storm and the Lynx. That's a pretty decent game. I want to see if there's a line out for this game because this is actually a really good game. Nope. Nothing yet from this game, but I think that the Storm will win the game because they just have the better players and the better team. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Storm on the road to keep the Lynx winless. All right, now move on to golf. The PGA Championship is going on. I made my pick yesterday. for it as I took Dustin Johnson at 18-1. With a very early leaderboard with a score of 1 under Cam Triangle, Ben Poland, and George Coetzee. Tied for 4th at even, Taylor Gooch, Adam Long, Harry Higgs, Matt Jones, Dylan Fratelli, Harold Varner III, Derek Holmes, Byung Hun An, Paul Casey, Garrick Higo, Tyler Hogue, and Bernd Weisberger. Mark Leishman's in the tie for 16th at 1 over. So is Joel Dahman and Rob Labritz. And then tied for 19th with 2 over, Brendan Steele, Larkin Gross, and Patrick Rada. Now I'm just going to go through notable tee times. At 7:38 was Ricky Fowler, Adam Scott, and Tyrell Hatton. Now I'm just going to go through notables with this. 7:44, among those was Jimmy Walker. Cam Champ was in the 7:49 trio. Kevin Kisner was in the 7:55 trio. 8 o'clock, Zach Johnson and Scotty Scheffler. 8:06, Bubba Walton. I almost said Bubba Wallace. That would have been bad. 8:11, Ryan Palmer and Luis Olson. 8:17, Charles Schwartzel was in that one. 8:22, Victor Hovland, Xander Schauffele, and Lee Westwood. Oh, by the way, Keegan Bradley's in 8:17. 8:28, Harry English, Alex Loren, and Stuart Sink. I believe the next time window is 8:33. Yep. Here's a good trio. Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, and Brooks Koepka. 8:39, Jason Kokrak, Kevin Na, and Tom Lewis. In the 8:44 time window, Colin Morikwa, Bryson DeChambeau, and Hideki Matsuyama. Emiliano Grillo is in the 8:51. Evan Van Rooyen and Matt Wallace are in the 8:55 one. In the 9:01 time slot, Lucas Griffin's in there. 9:12, Dylan McCarthy. Now we're in the afternoon session here. Richie Moretsky is in the 12:36 window. Sebastian Munoz is in 12:47. Sam Burns, 12:52. Abraham Ancer, 12:52. Corey Connors, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Tony Finau are all 103. JT Potts and Joaquin Neiman in the 109. Jason Day, Phil Mickelson in the 114. Adam Hadwin's in the 120. Tommy Fleetwood, Patrick Reed, and John Rahm is the 125 trio. That's solid. Carlos Ortiz is in the 131 trio. So is Ryan Henley. Gary Woodland, Justin Rose, and Cam Smith are in the 136 window. The 142 window, Adam Sullivan, Christian Ziedenhout, and Kevin Streelman. 147, Brett Horschel, Daniel Berger. 153, Sanjay M. and Ian Poulter are in that one. 158, Walter Zalatoris, Webb Simpson, and Jordan Spieth. 204, Ches Revis in that one. 209, Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, and Shane Lowry. 220, Patrick Cantlay. 226, Brendan Todd's in that one. 231, Chris Kirk. 237, Mackenzie Hughes. And in the 242 window, Kyung Hoon Lee is in that one. So it should be a fun tournament. Might pick Dustin Johnson 18-1 to win the PGA Championship, which should be a great tournament. All right, now move on to the news and notes. Some interesting ones to say the least. We'll start with the Yankees and Corey Kluber, the no-hitter. That was something else. That was the first Yankees no-hitter since David Cohn's perfect game in 1999. I think it was cool that Paul O'Neill was in the broadcast booth for this game for Yes. He obviously played in David Cohn's perfect game and David Wells' perfect game. Gets to broadcast a no-hitter. He was also in the broadcast booth for Mike Messina's near no-hitter in 2001 at Fenway. So a big night for the Yankees, especially Corey Kluber. And if he has a good season, we're going to remember last night for a long, long time because, like I said, the Yankees haven't had a no-hitter since the late 90s. 1999, David Cohn's perfect game. And here we are all these years later, and it's free agent signee Corey Kluber that gets the job done against his former team, the Texas Rangers, who gave out his bobblehead last night. So there's some irony to this as well. Tim Tebow to participate in OTAs as he signed his contract with the Jaguars and will be on the field for today's offseason program. That's according to Adam Schefter. Christian McCaffrey might bring the number 5 back as he posted the swap of him and his Stanford number in his Panthers jersey. So that's interesting. LeBron and Steph had an exchange at post-game after that classic of a game. James Harden on the viral shake meme. Those shakes are elite. I just tell them to cook it up for me as he's all in on smoothies. That was kind of funny. The Summer League will return to Las Vegas with all 30 teams, and it will be played from August 8th to the 17th. So that should be a lot of fun after we didn't have the Summer League. Or did we have it except in the fall? I don't remember. I don't think we had it last year. But it'll be good to see the Summer League back in Las Vegas. Something really cool. The Jazz superstars surprised students and gave them full scholarships for each win this season, and the reactions are amazing. This was on the Utah Jazz's Twitter feed, and that was really, really neat. Not just LeBron, but John Morant also chose Steph as the MVP. I don't think he'll win it because they're in the playing game, not in the postseason yet. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokic carried Denver to a 3 seed without Jamal Murray and Will Barton. So it should be Jokic. Although Steph will certainly be on the ballot for me, as I'll do award picks for the NBA and NHL on tomorrow's podcast. The Winnipeg Jets had an impressive win at Edmonton last night because Nikolaj Ehlers and Pierre-Luc Dubois did not play, and they still won the game 4-1. Give credit to Connor Hellebuck for his masterful performance and the rest of the Jet offense stepping up without those guys. There are issues with Blues COVID tests as the Blues discovered discrepancies in COVID-19 test results involving several players at a Game 2 against the Avalanche. That was weird. They played a great game. Like I said, that the final score is deceiving. So I think it's interesting that report came out. Hopefully all is good. I hinted at it earlier. The Padres activated Fernando Tatis Jr. and Eric Hosmer ahead of yesterday's game against the Rockies, and Tatis showed no ill effects as he homered yesterday. There's a lot of turmoil going on with the White Sox in the clubhouse with Tony La Russa, as La Russa calls out Lance Lynn. As the manager said, Lance has a locker, I have an office, I don't agree. After Lynn said unwritten rules are going away. And the last thing is kind of funny. Patrick Mahomes watching the crypto dip as he had an interesting response, as that was literally the perfect description GIF that Mahomes provided. All right, now we will recap last night's episode of The Masked Singer. I think this was the best episode of the season. 2 unmaskings, including Cloodle Doo, which we forgot to get to yesterday. Amazingly enough. The guest panelist last night was Darius Rucker of Hootie and the Blowfish. That's somebody that's been a popular guest over the past couple seasons on the show, including Monster in Season 1. And that's who I thought Monster was, but nope, it was T-Pain. So good to see Darius on The Masked Singer. The Yeti went first. There's a crystal ball. There's a North Pole office sign. A soccer ball, 3 stars. There's a door. And he performed Celebration by Kool and the Gang. The special clue of the week was the clue drop with the panelist connection. And Yeti had a connection with Nicole as they had a good time together in Santa Monica. I went with Omarion. Nicole went with Marcus Houston and J-Bug. Ken Jeong went with Justin Bieber. And Darius Rucker went with Cisco. Black Swan went next. She talked about facing fears. There is a Maple Leaf in there. Is she from Toronto? The Toronto Maple Leafs. I know everybody thought about Canada, but how about Toronto specifically here? There's a tag. Hello, my name is One. So she must go by one name. This alludes, that clue matches my guess that I'm about to say. There's a fish tank on there. There's a sign that said Be Unafraid. Is that a song title? And she performed Tequila by Dan and Shay. Her clue drop was to Robin Thicke. She ends up being a celebrity VIP and was at one of Robin's after parties. I'm going to go with JoJo here. I was getting Too Little Too Late vibes in the performance yesterday with the style that she performed with Tequila. Ken Jeong went with Bjork, of course. Darius went with Alanis Morstead. And Robin Thicke went with Carly Rae Jepsen, which isn't a bad guess. Chameleon went next. There's a rainbow. There's hints about adjusting ability. There are bricks there. There's a trailblazer. There's a red double-decker bus. And this person performed Oh Boy by Cameron. The clue drop was for Darius Rucker. There's a snake in there. And the Chameleon said that he shared the stage with him and was it in Phoenix or with Phoenix, a.k.a. Caitlyn Jenner? Or was Caitlyn Jenner in present, or did Darius Rucker share the stage with this individual in Phoenix? I have a new guess for Chameleon, and I am 100% convinced that this is none other than current Portland Trailblazer, former New York Knicks star Carmelo Anthony. I threw out Melo as a possibility for Chameleon last week, and it kind of dawned on me that it's actually him. The Trailblazer, he's currently on the Blazers. There's the Madison Square Garden clue from last week. Obviously, he was a Knick. There's a Houston clue. He played for the Rockets. There are Peaches, Georgia. He was traded to the Atlanta Hawks but never played for the Hawks. There was a number 3 in there. He wore number 3, I believe, with the Syracuse Orange. There was an orange clue in there. It's over. But either way, I'm 100% convinced that this is Carmelo Anthony of the Portland Trail Blazers. So that'd be really, really cool to get Melo on the show. And I'm looking forward to next Thursday's podcast when I'll say, I told you so, it was mellow. But little did I know 2 weeks ago when I mentioned him. Well, really last week, but I'll be saying that in a week from now. Little did I know 2 weeks ago. Because 2 weeks ago I still thought it was ludicrous. But now I am 100% convinced that this is Carmelo Anthony. Darius Rucker went with Larry Fitzgerald of the Arizona Cardinals. Jenny McCarthy went with Riff Raff, and Ken Jeong went with 2 Chainz. Piglet. A little piglet on the prairie. There's a little guitar. Football Sunday. There's another football clue. Amira Alama, landscaping, kids. And the song was Bruises by Louis Capaldi. And the clue drop was to Jenny McCarthy. And there's a poker chip. And they always go all in, especially for charity work. I think this is former singer and current actor Mark Wahlberg. There's a big hint last week that his idol was Bruce Willis. Obviously, Bruce Willis and Mark Wahlberg have done stuff together throughout their careers. And then obviously the clue drop going to Jenny made me think Mark or his brother Donnie. But I ultimately settled on Mark for now. Drew Lachey was Jenny's guess. Joel Madden was Ken's. And Darius went with Tim McGraw, which I thought was ridiculous. No way, it's a country singer. Cloodle Doo made his final appearance. He performed The Return of the Mac, which was a great performance. And his clue was for Ken Jeong, the clue drop. There was a giraffe with balloons. And this was not the first time that these 2 individuals were together with animals. My first impression guess of Cloodle Doo was Howard Stern. My final guess was Jamie Foxx because of his dance moves. And he had a rapper's vibe to me. It sounded a lot like Jamie. Ken Jeong and Darius Rucker went with Kevin James. Robin and Nicole went with Jamie Foxx. Jenny went with Akon. And who was it? The husband of Jenny McCarthy, Donnie Wahlberg. Unbelievable. I was stunned. Jenny lost her mind as she went down literally on her knees. She was literally shook that her husband was the Cloodle Doo. And because of the hints that Cloodle Doo was giving, and there's that hint that he dropped on for Piglet. He was giving some hard clues about Piglet. And it makes sense now for Piglet to be Mark Wahlberg. I really think that I'm right with these last 3 of JoJo, Mark Wahlberg, and Carmelo Anthony for their respective characters. Although I feel the best about Mello, and I don't feel that great about Mark Wahlberg. Although I feel solid about it. And then JoJo I really don't feel super about either. Although the clues in the voice matches up. So Donnie Wahlberg was Cloodle Doo. And then Donnie obviously sat with Jenny for when the unmasked contestant went home. And that was Yeti. Yeti should not have went home. Yeti is so much better than that. Chameleon should have went home. But Yeti's song choice was just not lame, but not himself. That's probably what cost him. My first impression guess of the Yeti was Justin Timberlake. My final guess was Omarion. Ken Jeong's first impression and final was Justin Bieber. Nicole's first impression was Jason Derulo. Her final was Mario. Jenny's first impression was Mario. Her final was Neo. Robin's first impression was Omarion. His final was Omarion. Darius went with Cisco. Donnie didn't have a guess because Donnie obviously knows who everybody is. And who was it? Omarion. I was correct. I told you guys on last week's show and on yesterday's show that I was getting vibes of Entourage, his song, as he made some of his performances. So good for Omarion. Good get for the show. Obviously, Donnie was tremendous. And that obviously lived up to the billing with the surprise unmasking. Because like I said, I thought this was Howard Stern until he performed the Return of the Mac. Then I was thinking Jamie, as in Jamie Foxx. And then it turns out to be New Kids on the Block star and the husband of Jenny McCarthy, Donnie Wahlberg. And I can't help but wonder how Donnie and Jenny's son reacted as he saw his father under this Cloodle-Doo mask. This was the surprise of the season to me so far. Bigger surprise than Kermit as the snail early on. Although the voice matched the Kermit. Although it didn't occur to me until he stuck his green paws out. Then I knew it was Kermit when he got unmasked. But yeah, Donnie Wahlberg, man. Great get for the show. Fabulous surprise. And that was all because of Jenny. Let's be honest. They guessed Donnie as the rabbit in season 1. And some people thought the turtle in season 3. Some people thought even Nick Carter's character from last season, which was the crocodile. Some people thought that was Donnie as well. But no, he's this strange but entertaining as hell Cloodle-Doo, which was absolutely just marvelous by Fox with coming up with that role for Donnie. All right, best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Tough one. I think the total went up to 237.5. Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna go with. God, this is so hard. Let's go to hockey. Let's go to a big game. And we will take the... Toronto Maple Leafs -1.5 plus 132 against Montreal because I just think that this is going to be domination by Toronto, and I think that they're going to win by multiple goals. So I'm going to do a unit on the Maple Leafs -1.5 at plus 132 against the Montreal Canadiens. All right, so there you have it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA play-in, Major League Baseball, WNBA. Look ahead to tomorrow and the weekend's games. PGA leaderboard, NASCAR. We'll preview and predict the American Idol finale. I'll do my awards in the NHL and the NBA as well. And obviously my best bet. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.